Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video where we're going to be continuing our adventure across the world in our fictional PvZ-free Travel Accord. Now, as promised, we'll be heading to Thailand. As I said Bangkok earlier, I've changed my mind to just a general Thailand because this is going to be a sort of different environment. It's going to be our water level. It's going to look like a mangrove swamp with lanes like sand banks that you can plant your land plants, but there's also going to be plenty of water to plant your water friends in the water. So yeah. However, before we get into this, a lovely viewer suggested that I draw cactus, which I regrettably missed in my last video. I mean, it's a perfect plant to bring back for this world. So I thought I'd treat you with another speed draw of cactus. So let's get into it. So the first thing I needed to do is, yet again, like jalapeno, I had to find a good way to make this very iconic, way more iconic than jalapeno even, one of the main PvZ plants. How to do it justice and how to not, make it feel rushed or unlike the actual plant. That was a big challenge because my art style is very different, so I had to balance my style with actually making the plant look like cactus. So as you can see here, I'm just going into the basic shape, adding the weird nose thing, very classic for the Plants vs. Zombies franchise. And yeah, so cactus is basically going to act similar to how it acted in Plants vs. Zombies 2. I really did like its ability to go down and become like a spikeweed. Now, something I also have to add is I am not including plant food into this game. If I'm honest, I never liked plant food because it's basically just, it's cool, but it basically is just like, hey, press the button and you'll basically win this encounter. I don't know, it just felt cheap. And I prefer bringing back that old, slower pace feel for this game. I will have to say that the sun meta from the second game is coming back for this one, as I think it's just a lot easier to balance 50 sun meta instead of 25 sun meta. But maybe there's like a difficult mode where you can switch it to 25 sun meta if you want that challenge. Going back to the design here, as you can see, I've added Cactus's little flowers and spikes. I chose to go for her PvZ1 design where the spikes are only on the arms. I don't know, I just find it I really don't like the PvZ2 design, if I'm honest, because it's just like the little prickly bits just sort of stick out and there's no real reason to it. I don't know, it just looks tacky. So as you can see here, I'm doing the shading and the highlights, and I come to something I'm quite happy with Cactus over here. So yeah, Cactus will be found in the last world, the canyons, as I think I'm gonna call it. So I was thinking every episode we can do another plant from the old world. Just so I can definitely not pad out the video length. That's definitely not why I'm doing this. Anyways, this is just doing the final shading bits, doing the thorns on the end, and finishing stuff up. Alright, sadly, I forgot to hit record for this one, but I drew Lilypad. It's quite sad, but he's one of my little fellas. I gave him a little bit of a rework. Not rework, redesign. He does the exact same thing as the other games. I mean, how can you really change Lilypad? He does have a little flower now. I don't know. I just think that it's cute. And there was an outfit like that and I always put it on, so I made it default. I need another plant from the old games to add to this game. Oh yeah, PvZ2 recently came out with that mango plant. I'm sure it looks really cool. Let's see. Get out! Okay, on to the next plant added to PvZ2. Yeah, I really don't like the design of the mango. I don't even know what it's called, honestly. I could look it up, but I care so little about the plant that I'm not even going to. So, yeah, this plant was added recently, and there was a lot of problems with it. Mainly the design, but honestly, the mechanics are okay. You probably don't know them because it's this silly plant, but the mechanics are basically you can switch between two modes. One mode where it shoots small projectiles to several zombies in different lanes, and then another one where it focuses and does more damage onto one zombie. I'm gonna make it cost 200, similar to a little bit less than Melon Pulp. I reckon that's a good cost, and of course the split damage is going to be about the same as a Kernel Pulp, maybe a pea shooter. So low damage, and it does it into 3 different lanes, whereas the heavy damage is a little less than a actually, you know, like maybe 3/4 the strength of a Melon Pulp. Yeah, so that's what I think I'm going with. For the design here, you can see I gave them almost a complete rework because I really did not like the original design. I just don't think anyone is. It's very clear that the art style is changed, and not for the better. I mean, I think it's probably a budgetary thing, or I don't know, but the plant designs are just, they really don't fit into the game, and I love consistency with art. I think that a game should have a consistent art style throughout, otherwise things just look out of place. I don't know, it just looks really cheap. So what I've done here is I've added a gradient, I've completely changed up the face. He's sort of a little bit of a trickster, you know, he's laughing, but it's his leaf to his mouth, which is in the original design, but yeah, I got rid of those horrendous face. Bro just looks like a man in the original artwork, so definitely giving this guy the redesign that he needs. Changing up the position of the leaves here because like mangoes have like a big bushy leaf, and I really like it. So yep, just doing the highlights and shadows, and really just sort of finishing off this guy here. And then like Jalapeno, I actually also add in a second here I add spots to the design just to give it that sort of textured look, and I really like it. Sadly, I was an idiot and forgot to hit save on this one, so I don't have a PNG, so instead you can have a mango. And now we get on to the new plants. I was doing research earlier last night when I was in bed, been chilling, and I came across a plant that I needed to do, and it honestly gave me the inspiration to make this second episode. Talking about that, I have to say thank you so much for all of the support on the first episode. It was amazing, and I know I'm a very small YouTuber, so it might not seem like much, but I got 300 views on that video, and that really inspired me, and it's just so nice to see people finding, you know, interested in the stuff I'm interested in, and my work. So I just have to say, from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys. I really appreciate it. Right, stop being sloppy and doppy and soppy, we are going to go talk about this plant, which, if you haven't guessed by now, is a corpse flower. Now, the name corpse flower is sick, and this thing is stinky as fuck. This thing is super stinky, and yeah, its whole thing is it attracts flies, which it then eats. So I thought a really good mechanic for this thing is it costs 100, and you can, as you can see, it's got a mouth. You can plant plants in there, and basically because it smells so bad, like the zombies just think they ignore it because they think, you know, it smells like a zombie itself, so they walk past it. So basically you can plant this, and then zombies will just walk past your plant. So if you want to keep that plant on the field, you can plant this and it will do that. The downside, of course, is that it could just walk straight past it. I'm having quite a little bit of trouble balancing this one. I have been thinking more about balancing, and I do really appreciate all of the little advice that you guys have been giving me in the comments. So I think that 150, that seems alright, but you tell me. This is corpse flower. A really cool design. Alright, moving on to the next plant, we have the Thai lotus. Now, this plant is called Emotus, and it is a double plant. Basically, what it does is it has two heads, and basically it has two modes. Either it has two modes or it's random. It randomly buffs a plant for 15 seconds, or it nerfs a zombie for 15 seconds. It's basically nerfing its speed, whereas it buffs a plant speed for 15 seconds. It's gonna cost you 75, and it's temporary, so it will buff one zombie, buff one plant, and then disappear. So it's basically an instant use, but the time between... Yeah, so it's instant. So it buffs one zombie and it buffs one plant. This is random. So it's sort of a little bit of a chancer, like Electric Blueberry, but I sort of love that idea. Yeah, so I think it's a pretty balanced plant, and I think it's really fun. So the two heads here are the two different emotions. We have this sort of sassy female head at the top, and then you'll see in a second this super grumpy male head at the bottom. So a Thai lotus, which I'll put up on the screen now, is this beautiful plant that grows in Thailand that I just, you know, it was a classic and I had to make into a plant. And the pun of the name is emotus, like lotus, but emotion, because these two plants have very separate and different emotions. And it sort of is about like motivating or demotivating the zombies and plants, and that's basically like the whole idea of the plant. So basically, I get the base colors down and I just do some shading. It's got very dark leaves, and I'm really happy that I could do the Thai lotus because it's my favorite lotus because of the beautiful purple, and it's always nice to get some more purple plants in there. Shout out all my 6 Starlia fans out there. You know, I'm vibing with you guys. I love Starlia. Way better than Stunyon, in my opinion, but that's just me. That's all I'm saying. Another thing I should add is no, there will not be leveling in this game. And leveling was the worst decision PopCap ever made, and I hate it because I want all the new plants, but I can't get them because there's ain't no fucking way I'm getting through Penny's Pursuit with my level 1 repeater. That's not happening. So yeah, I think leveling ruined PvZ, and it's definitely not coming to this game. So no plant food, no leveling, base PvZ, that's all they need. We don't need all this fancy stuff, honestly. We just need more plants and more zombies. Make it like the first game. That's all we're asking for as a franchise, but of course we're not going to get that. We're going to get bloody Clash of Clans looking at our game because I like money. You know, that whole Mr. Krabs meme. Anyways, this is Emotus. He's really fun. They're really fun, I suppose, because it's 2 plants. And yeah, I hope you like this one. moving on to our next and last plant of the evening. This is Tangrove, which is a mangrove tree. Now, this one was really fun. As you can also see, I hope you like the water. So you can see that it's a water plant, and it grows in the water. Now, a mangrove is actually one of my favorite trees. I'll put it up on screen now. It's just a really nice and, I don't know, just a vibrant, and I love all of the vines and the roots, which I really tried to sort of emphasize here in the design. It's very difficult to simplify such a crucial design. Now, I made a decision here. Most of the time, I really don't like man-made accessories on plants. However, I gave this man sunglasses, and I couldn't go back. It's probably the best decision I've made in my life, and I think I peaked. My art peaked when I added sunglasses to this man. He's called Tangrove because he probably tans all day, and he's a mangrove, so Tangrove. He's just a chill dude. Look at this man. This man is really cool. There's a little bit of lore related to his mechanic, which is you can plot him in the water, and basically he acts a bit like a walnut, but instead of the zombies don't eat him. Instead, they walk through him, and it slows the zombies down. He costs 75, and basically, yeah, he just slows the zombies down a little bit. And basically, it's like they have to strangle through the tangling, but in his little almanac section, it would say the zombies don't actually stop because they're being tangled. They just really like listening to this guy's chill stories. So that he's just the chillest man. And as you can see here, I do a little bit of texturing with the leaves, which I think turns out looking really nice. And overall, Tangrove is just one of my favorite artworks, or one of my favorite plants. I wonder what you think of him. I'm really happy with these plants, and yeah, it's just a really interesting and unique sort of idea that I really like, and I really, I vibe with. And that is every plant from Plants vs. Zombies from the Thailand world. Shout out all the guys that helped me in the comments, and also keep your eyes open, for we are going to the snowy plains of Alaska in the next video. So I really hope that you enjoyed the video, and I will definitely see you later. Cheers.